Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to be filming kind of a raw, more impromptu video. I was actually going to be editing and posting my December wrap up for tomorrow, but today as I'm filming this, it is New Year's Eve, and I decided to just kind of do like a little chatty goals, like New Year goals for 2025 for like my channel and like this channel and for the community, as well as the things that I just want to reflect on in the past 2024 year, because a lot had happened and I just want to have like something to look back on and something for you guys as well that's more like intimate rather than just talking about the books that I had read. I will be posting the December TBR, don't worry, but I'll be posting probably that video on Wednesday rather than Saturday, because as I'm filming this, I'm going to be posting this tomorrow. That is if I stay up and edit tonight, because I have been pretty addicted to playing my Switch again, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I'm going to try to talk as much as I can throughout this video without me having to edit, because I kind of just want this video to be like really chatty and intimate, and just like as if we're just like literally hanging out after work and just talking. Also, I do look like an egg. I have my hair up because I did not do my hair up today. I did not do my hair at all, so please don't mind that. And yeah, also if you do hear a burp, if the microphone picks up a burp, I am so sorry. I had a lot of veggies today, and so if you hear that, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. But the things I wanted to kind of reflect on this past 2024 year, we'll start off with that, and then we'll go into the goals. So this past 2024 year, I have been like thinking about like a lot of things that had happened this year, and a lot of changes occurred throughout this year. One huge thing that actually occurred was so I don't know if I really talked about it, because I didn't feel like it was something I should talk about at the time, because I didn't want to like dive into it. But when it was like the beginning of 2024, I was actually at a job that I was not happy with, and I'm the type of person where I don't like admitting those things, and I don't like talking about things that bother me, or like especially like something you wouldn't want to talk about on the internet. But when I hear other people talking about jobs that they're not happy with, and I was unhappy at my last job, I felt like it was something to be more relatable about. So if you're going through this, I hope this is something. Also, I'm like diving right into this video, so I hope you guys don't mind. But my last job, I was just absolutely unhappy, and so I don't know if you guys can find some like relatability with this, so I'm just gonna kind of share my experience. My last job, I was really unhappy. I felt like I was doing too much and nothing was getting recognized. I was relied on a lot, and although it was a job that I loved all the technicalities of it. Like I love learning all the things that I got to learn, and I found it to be so fascinating, but I think the environment was just not really the healthiest. It was kind of toxic and like not as positive. Like I'm a bubbly, friendly person, and I'm not gonna go into like the place or anything, but my last job, they just did not want you to like be that, like, I can't explain it because I don't want to disrespect anything, but they had certain criteria that they wanted and a certain attitude they wanted you to have, even if that meant like not laughing and smiling. And that's just how I was. Like I love laughing and smiling, and I love talking to people. Obviously I know that there's like a time crunch and you have to be done in a certain time frame, but because of that, I felt like I couldn't really give like a human interaction to like the patients I was dealing with, and it took a huge toll on my mental health. Like I felt so unhappy. I would literally put my clothes on, put my scrubs on, and then I would walk my dog, and then I would just sit there wanting to call off because I just did not want to go to work. And I have never really felt this depressed at a job before, to the point that I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it because it's something I really wanted to do. But it was just so depressing to the point that I was like, I could tell my mental health was like declining, and I just felt so unhappy. Like I was dreading going back to work. I was dreading Mondays, and I was dreading finishing work to have to like go back to sleep super early and then wake up and do it all over again, because I just did not want to go back there. But trying to find a new job is actually really hard, and I obviously I don't really talk about it much on the channel just because it's not really like a mom channel, but I am a mom, and so I have a child to support. And so trying to find a job just like that isn't that easy. Like I can't just like drop a job. I have to like make sure I'm financially okay for me and my family. And so I just kept trying day and night. I would even just try to like literally all day on my days off, I would just mass apply at all these places because I just felt so unhappy at my job. And it was just the way that they didn't treat me specifically bad, which I'm grateful for, but they treated other people bad, and that doesn't like align with my morals. And so because of that, I just felt like I had to get out of there. Like it was just so hard, and it felt like I was stuck. Like I would keep applying at places, and there's only so much that they can meet you when it comes to like how much they want to pay you and all that like in-depth stuff. But it was really hard to try to find a job that could support me and my family, but then also something that could kind of get me out of it. And I felt stuck. But one thing I'm really grateful for in this past 2024 year was the fact that at that moment when I was trying to leave that job, I felt so depressed, and I felt like it was so hard to get out of. But it wasn't a waste of time because I had this like massive push. I knew one thing I wanted. I knew that I really wanted to have a job where I didn't have to do certain things anymore, because I've done that my whole life, my working career. And I just feel like there were certain things that I wanted to balance, more of like a work-life balance, and that's what I cared about so much. So one thing I kind of was like leaning towards was working from home. And obviously you would think there's a lot of working from home remote jobs, but the thing is, a lot of people want those jobs, so it was really hard to find one. But I'm really grateful and happy that I landed the job that I have now. Because of it, I had so much opportunities. I love the job that I work for now. I love the opportunity that I have for the job that I work for now. I'm not going to say it just for privacy reasons, but because of that, my work-life balance has been amazing. I have been able to spend more time with my family. I can take more time off. You actually have a lot more incentives at this place compared to the last one. It was like so hard to even get my little one's birthday off, but here it's like you can actually ask for time off if you need it, and just a lot of incentives that most employers should be giving their employees. And so I'm really grateful for the job I have. And if it wasn't for that job that I last had trying to push me out, like trying to make me feel like I had to get out of there, I probably wouldn't have tried so hard to get where I was now, to work the remote job. And then working that remote job, being happy working in a remote job, has not only led me into one thing I was grateful for in 2024, but it led me into being able to have the opportunity to move where I wanted to move. And so me and my family moved from a state that I've lived in since I was a kid, which I've talked about this like briefly on my channel, and I guess I can talk about it now because I don't live there anymore. But I've grown up in Las Vegas my entire life. I've never lived anywhere else. I've obviously visited places, but I always wanted to leave Vegas. I think it's just like a place like where you grow up, you just know the ins and outs, and you just know that it's not for you. Like Vegas wasn't really a place for like kids. It's not really a place for me specifically, honestly. I just think it wasn't a place that I wanted to grow up in. I didn't want my child to grow up there. Nothing against anybody who wants their kids to grow up there, but for me, I've lived there my whole life, and for me it just didn't fit what I wanted. And so I always wanted to leave Vegas, but it just never seemed possible. It just seemed impossible. And looking back, it's really crazy because of that job and me moving to a remote job now, I got to just pick up and move. And I'm so grateful for that, because it was something that just seemed impossible. And honestly, the new place that I live at, not going to say where, 'cause safety reasons, I'm sure some of you guys might recognize it, but just for safety, I would appreciate if you guys don't say anything. But I love the place I live in now, and it's crazy when you wake up and you get to live in an environment that you enjoy. Like you find it to be such a beautiful environment. Like I love all the plants, all the grass, all the animals. Like I love what the city has to offer. I love the community. I love the people here. And of course I miss my family and friends, but I think Vegas would be a place that I would love to just go back and visit everybody and go see them all again, but to not live there, because I truly love where I live. And I'm really grateful that I got to have this opportunity and bring my daughter to a place that I wanted us to grow up in with me and my boyfriend. And so, which I haven't talked about either much on my channel, but my boyfriend is my daughter's dad. So, but yeah, those are like two huge things that happened in 2024 that I just had to like really highlight, because those were big things. And I remember too, it was really hard for me to kind of keep up with my channel as well, because I felt so tired. I was physically tired from my last job, and I was so stressed out. It was so hard to like film and like sit down and enjoy everything and enjoy reading, because I literally had to wake up at 4 a.m. every single day, and I'm a night owl. Like, I love staying up late. Currently it is 10:30, almost 11 right now, and I don't mind staying up. I'm actually gonna stay up obviously past midnight because I have to edit a video, and today's New Year's Eve, so you know I gotta do like a mini celebratory. But yeah, I just feel like looking back in 2024, I had so much changes and opportunity, and everything just aligned perfectly. So when I look back at 2024, some of my biggest highlights was going to a trip. And for some reason, me and my boyfriend booked a random trip right before we even knew we were going to move. And we booked it for the day, which was to Oregon. And it was a trip that we had planned for like a few months before the actual trip. And it's just crazy because we booked it right before we were going to move across the United States. And it's just kind of lined up perfectly. And to be able to see the opportunity, one thing, I don't know if you guys watch her, but I love her videos. I watch Morgan Long, and she lives in like the Portland, Oregon area. Ever since I've been watching her videos, I've always been so fascinated with going to Oregon. And so going out there and being able to see Powell's, that was such a like amazing opportunity, and it was like beautiful. And I just am so happy that I got to have the opportunity. And so that was like one huge like random alignment of a blessing that landed right before we decided to move, because also that was my foot, I promise. But because of that, we didn't have to like change our flight or anything. It literally was like a few weeks before us actually moving away. So it was just a nice mini trip to have before our huge trip. Another thing I wanted to highlight is actually about the channel. And I remember like at the beginning of the year, my channel wasn't like in the best, like I wasn't like filming as much as I've wanted to, and editing as much as I've wanted to. I remember I was kind of like intermittent on it, and I think it's because it was taking me a while to kind of get back in my routine again, and then also just intertwining with work. Like, work was just, my old job obviously was kind of just like messing with it, and so it was pretty hard to kind of just upkeep with it. And I remember just like not really doing as much on my channel as I would have wanted to. But once I fell into the rhythm and kind of like got more adjusted with my new job, which is my current job now, which again I love and I'm grateful for, and it's a huge blessing. But yeah, so after like getting into that, I'm really happy that I'm not trying to jinx it, but I actually started to like get back into routine again, and being able to surpass from, I was like at a standstill of like 400 subscribers, and then surpassing 500, which was a goal I've had for a while. And even though it's like not about numbers, it's just about like, for me, like I want a community that I can, like a community in general. That's the reason why I made my booktube channel. I just wanted a community of other people to talk to, whether it was about books but also about anything else. And so, but obviously books are like the main thing we're gonna like talk about on this channel, but I really wanted a community that I knew was there, and for my community to know that I was there and like we had each other. And that was the biggest reason I made this channel, is because, well, one of the things, I need to gush over books with somebody, and I had nobody to gush over books with. But also I wanted to have a community. Like I just really wanted like to be able to have people, like if I ask a question, I know that they're going to be in the comments, and I know that they're going to be there just watching the videos and kind of just supporting and knowing me after each video, knowing more and more about me, and me kind of knowing more about them like when they interact with me. And that was just something I really wanted. And so being able to like surpass that like standstill 400, my channel is still on a standstill if I'm being honest. It just hasn't really been growing as much, but I'm also just trying to enjoy the ride as much as I can, because lately I've been getting some of the most kind-hearted and supportive comments, and some of the people that just come to my channel and leave like the most like purest, relatable, supportive, kindest comments, they just literally make my day, to the point that it reminds me of why I'm doing this and why I love having a channel, because like being able to talk to them and just see those like those sweet words, it makes my whole day. And that's why like I always want you guys to talk to me in the comments, because I want to talk to you guys, even if it is just an emoji. And I read every comment, and I can recognize some of the people that do comment on my videos, even if it's just an emoji. I love it. I love when you just say anything, even if you were just like hi. I would be really happy. And I remember some of these subscribers as well that have been with me like since I kind of first started my channel, which is not that long ago. It was only 2 years ago. And yeah, so that was like another huge thing I wanted to highlight, was the past, like surpassing that little jump of 400 and going past 500, which sometimes I think is still crazy. I'm at 600 subscribers, which again, I don't want to make it all about numbers, but my ultimate goal last year was to at least reach 1,000 subscribers. But because of how non-consistent I have been, I'm not surprised that it was kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, I think not posting for a while and then losing your consistency and then trying to post again and being consistent, for some reason I think it's harder than it was when I first started my channel. I don't know what it is, but I've just noticed my videos don't get as much views now that I'm trying to get back into a consistent game compared to when I first started. But I don't know, that could be me, and also could be like the quality, it could be like, you know, there's so much different factors that take place into it. But then jumping into my goals for 2025, and I'm sorry if this video is like really rambling all over the place. I had no like set plans. I kind of just wanted to sit down and just do like a little chatty New Year's video with you guys. But going into 2025, my biggest goal for this channel is honestly, I want to kind of film more like genuine, relatable content, as well as like obviously my bookish content. So in terms of like criteria, I really want to review books better. Rather than just saying like a point blank type of review, I want to like break it down to like the tone of the story, the themes, the characters, the plot. I just need to like break down my reviews a little bit better to where it's like an actual review, because sometimes when I look back at how I review things, I feel like they're just so surface level, and I feel like there's a lot more I can go in depth about, especially for people who wants to actually like get sucked into a book and pick up a book. I need to actually provide that for the viewer, like as to why they should pick up the book or why they shouldn't, or why it worked for me and why it might work for you, things like that. And then going into like relatability, I want to do more vlogs that are actually like not just random clips I put together, but I want to make them like relatable and comforting. I want my vlogs to feel like a comfort type of video that you can just play, because okay, so when I'm working and I'm not doing certain parts of my job, I play my favorite comfort YouTubers in the background, and they just make my workday go by. And I want to be that person for somebody. Like I want to be that person, like that comfort channel for somebody as well. And so my goal is to really be that comfort channel and to kind of talk about more real life things as well, even if it's just something quick on a vlog. Like as this, like I'm talking about a little bit more about my personal life. I'm not going to go super personal obviously, because there's some things I just don't want to share out of privacy reasons, but being able to talk about like struggles or talk about just new endeavors or something exciting that happened, I want to talk about more of those things on my channel, and to where like you guys know me as a person and you kind of know like who I am a little bit more, and you guys can talk to me more. Because I think I realized one huge thing is I see you guys watching my videos, but when I asked like, oh, because when I surpassed 500, I asked like ask me like any questions, and no one really, I only had one person that asked a question, but I would have liked like more questions that kind of flood in. So I'm gonna save that question for like when I actually do a bigger Q&A, so hopefully that's like in the future. Hopefully, you know, there's more of you guys like leaving questions. But yeah, I want my channel to feel like a comfort channel. I want it to be like more realistic and more relatable, and you know, like I don't want it to be so like choppy. I've noticed like when I film my vlogs, they don't flow that well. It's just more like I have random clips and I just put them all together. I feel like I need to kind of edit it a little bit more, and I just want to make it a lot more like of a creative masterpiece. But the thing is, it's like crazy because sometimes I think it's like whatever, but then when I look back on it, I'm pretty proud still of like the work I put into the video. But again, I do think there's a lot more of improvement I could work on. And then one huge goal, this is like a numbers goal, I would like us to reach 1,000 subscribers in 2025. That is my goal for this year. And I know that seems like impossible, but I truly think if I worked really, really hard and if we also work together, I really do think we can surpass and create a community of 1,000 subscribers. Oh man, my camera is flashing and I don't think I have another battery, so I might make this really, really quick. But yeah, so those are like the ultimate goals for the rest of this year. I'm probably gonna have more goals. I'm gonna talk about this more in a vlog or more in a video, but I just wanted to kind of just wrap up the year of 2024 and then kind of just go into like some little goals that will go into 2025. Obviously there's gonna be so much more details and so much more I'm grateful for and so much more highlights, but I did just get off of work and I am kind of feeling this last minute, but I just want to do like a little rambly like pinpoint of these certain highlights I've noticed for the past year and going into the next year. But of course there's gonna be more we're gonna look back on. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for just being here, being present and supporting my channel. And if this camera dies, thank you so much again, and I hope you guys have an amazing new year, a safe one at that, and I will see you guys in 2025. Thank you so much again. I love you guys.